real estate business if the economy is in a downturn. But first, let's hit it. Hi, Victoria Pinder here at eXp Realty. I love talking about eXp all day, every day. And if you join me at the Wolfpack, you get, of course, me and then access to my entire upline. So you get Mike Sherrard, you get Connor Steinbrook, you get so much information and overwhelming information, so much education, so many opportunities. I'm one of the first people to learn anything whenever something new's coming out with technology, and I love it, and I am here to help you as well. So now with that, let's talk about the video today. And don't forget, you can join me at the Agent Wolfpack. I think I forgot to say that. Anyway, today, we're going to talk about economic downturns. eXp was specifically designed because they saw what happened in 2008 failure, and they wanted to make sure that they built a business model based on what to do in downturns. So I am not afraid of any economic downturns as a real estate agent because I have aligned myself with people who are there. But also, I educate myself all the time, and that's something I want to really kind of drive home today. So let's talk about it. They say economic downturns are when you find out who's swimming naked, is what I heard somebody describe it as. You find out who are the people who are going to be a real estate agent and who is doing great at it. And with the right strategies in place, you can keep your business afloat and even thrive. In fact, people grow their businesses during economic downturns much more than they grow them in economic upturns because you're going with the tidal wave and downturns. But when you're at the splash at the down and it's low tide, that's when you can really kind of build your empire. So now is empire building time, right? So, which is amazing. But what do we have to do in order to do that? We have to understand our market, and you have to understand what is going on with your market, which means data is your best friend. Not just data, what is going on with your market and how you act with this data. Because a lot of people are really good at getting the information, but not good at sharing the information or taking it in to know what they need to do. So that's another step. But you have to plan for that. So make sure when you're creating your business, you're creating a business that thrives by spending only on what is necessary for effective planning, effective trends, effective marketing, and you're not wasting your money on things that are ineffective. So you have to look at that housing data that's going on in your market. Look at what's going on in the trends. Break it down into different price points because different things can be going on with different price points. Figure this out. Is the market more in buyer's favor? Is it in a seller's favor? Why? What do you need to do with this information? What are you going to do? You're going to share that information, of course, right? Which is always super important. Now with that, now you have to tailor your approach. So now I told you have to get the information. Here's where a lot of people fail. They then need to take that information and then apply it to their market. So in a seller's market, you have to be able to explain how buyers can still get a home at a reasonable price in their budget. When it's a buyer's market, we're going to talk about making sure the sellers list their price and home appropriately to make it attractive for buyers. Both have to have clear goals. What if it's a middle market? What if it's like it is right now? What's going on? Prices are still going up, so sellers want top dollar, and buyers are feeling with those interest rates going up that they can't afford it. So we kind of have to do a lot of education in this moment to why you can still buy a home. It's actually better to buy a home now than it was a while ago, and why. So be able to explain it in a way that makes sense for people and in your personality and in your method. So you really have to not just take that information and sound like I have all this information. You have to actually be able to explain it because we're salespeople, right? At the end of the day, we have to explain what's going on. And then another thing, in this market especially, this is when we're going to do our bread and butter lead generating activities. I have a whole video on lead generating. This isn't about lead generating, but you have to be able to connect with people in order to find the buyers and sellers in your market. Maybe it's community events, maybe it's similar audiences with our Facebook groups, but you really have to become the master lead generator and what is working in your market and cut anything that costs too much, that's a lot of bloat, that doesn't bring a lot of returns. So you really, that's good business anyway, which brings us to the next point called business sustainability. You have to build trust with your clients. So when you're working with them, they have to completely trust you. Also, make sure that they give you referrals, people you've helped in the past. So those are two important things. You're using social media to continue to connect with people and for them to remember that you are an industry expert in your field. And then also you're going to make sure that you are in groups where people know you're a real estate agent. It's never good to be a secret agent, right? Unless you're a spy movie, but that's not what we are. We're salespeople, we're real estate. So make sure that people know what you do. Next thing is, this is why I joined EXP. This is why I joined the Wolfpack, because innovative approaches are something that attracts me like, whoo, honey, if I'm the bee, that's the honey, right? Or the honey bee, whatever. I love technology. I really do. I'm like, ooh, what's going on with this? What's going on with social media? What's going on with online media? What's going on with Threads versus X now instead of Twitter, right? What's going on at the filming of this video? How do virtual tours work? How can you make your virtual tours stand out and be better than anything else? Because more and more people are buying virtually than ever before. And I do have a little slight advantage of I've bought my own house virtually, so that I live in right now. So I have like, hey, this is what I would recommend you looking for, and give tips on how to buy virtually, because I've been there myself. Also, I still stick back to that data, because if you can show your worth, you're going to get higher end clients because they see that you know what you're talking about. People can feel it and it's in their bones. You're not just selling them on something that, might or might not work because you're like, hey, you should buy this house for this, buy it for $50,000 over asking price. No, you're not being pushy like that on something that doesn't make sense. You're explaining it in a way that connects with people. And not everybody's going to connect with you, and that's okay. I do not have time in my business to chase people who don't want to work with me. I really don't. And neither do you. But you can be proactive, because people who do want to work with you are going to stick with you till the end because they want to work with you, because you're bringing value to their lives. You're showing information. You're showing opportunities that might present itself. Maybe for this market right now, in my market anyway, we're talking about new construction. We're talking about incentives to get those interest rates down. I do it a lot. And that's just my local market right now. Next thing I want to talk about is making sure you have a method to evaluate your performances. Make sure you're tracking data, because you want to just say, oh, I got this lead and we did this, right? No, make sure that you're following what happened to these leads. Stay informed on the industry news, anticipate what is happening as much as you can, and track. So if you're buying leads and suddenly your Facebook ads stop working because they're clicking but they're not buying houses anymore, well then maybe we need to tweak that ad. So be able to have a tracking mechanism to see, hey, I bought these people from Zillow. It cost this amount of money and this was my return. Have an ROI. Make sure you know what that is. And the last thing I want to talk about is making sure you're networking with professionals who are also looking to innovate, looking to excel, looking to adapt. This is why I love the Wolfpack, why I joined EXP to begin with, and I did it when the market was hot, but I did it because I understood continuous learning, adaptation, innovation are the keys to success. And so that is one of the things I get all the time with the Wolfpack, and I'm excited to share my knowledge with you or anybody who's looking for a sponsor, okay? And then you get me, so yay! Okay, talk to you later, okay? See you soon.